Good evening everybody, and once again welcome back to the channel. In this particular video I will be showing you a hands-on lab on AWS Lambda Durable Functions. That is correct, AWS Lambda Durable Function. This was announced, this reinvent, and in my opinion this is one of the best features for AWS Lambda. Let me put it this way, now it allows you to run a Lambda beyond 15 minutes. You heard it right, beyond 15 minutes. You can do amazing stuff with this, and the way this works is, let's say you want to invoke any external system, right? You use the Lambda Durable function. The Lambda Durable function will invoke the external system. It will pass the callback ID, right? External system will work, of course, it's a batch system or it may take time, 1 hour, 2 hour, or even an entire day, it's fine. Then it responds back to the Lambda with the callback ID. And in between that, the Lambda function will pause the execution, and the external system has to trigger saying that I'm complete or I'm failed. If it does not hear within the specified time, it's going to time out. So this is what is Lambda Durable Function, and you can do truly amazing things. Let me give you an example. So now using that, you can invoke your Spark jobs using the Lambda Durable Function, and you can pass in the callback ID to your Spark jobs. The Spark jobs are batch job in nature. It can take probably 1 hour, couple of hours, or even a day, right? Once the processing is complete, it can respond back to the Lambda function, and you can then do your further business logic. Enough of that. I think what would make sense is to see a small demo. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. All right, so the first step is you need an AWS account to play with. I'm gonna be using my account. I'm in the US, I believe West 2, as you can see. Click on create function, and then let's name this function as demo function learn. You can name it whatever you like. And then for the runtime, I will choose Python 3.13. Is it there? Yeah. And then here you can see a checkbox now appears, and it's absolutely new. And again, it's the durable execution. Let's enable that. Okay. And then just click on create function. I've already done that. I already have a function, and then again, once the function is created, now let me show you the most simple use case with that. Again, the use case that I am going to show you is very simple. I'm going to mock it, of course. So let's say I have a system where I need to invoke a Spark job, and once the Spark job completes, the Spark job will respond back to the Lambda function. So it can take 1 hour, 2 or 3 or whatever that is. Until then, the Lambda is going to basically pause its execution. Okay, so let me show you some code, and hopefully it makes sense, right? So this is a code that I have. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. So this is a default import from AWS Durable Execution _ SDK Python. I'm making certain imports over here. Now let me explain you in a very simple, naive way, right? Okay. So I have this function called submit EMR job, and again here you can use your Boto CLI to submit a Spark job, right? You can add that code. I don't have it. Again, I'm mocking it. So again, once the EMR job is triggered, again, I'm doing that through a simple log command, right? So this function simulates that an EMR job has been fired, okay, at this point. The function returns the job name, the callback ID, and the status. Now see how it works. In your main Lambda function, right? So the first thing that you do is you create a callback or a task token. Once you do that, then over here, as you can see, I'm invoking my function over that. Submit EMR job. That was a function here, as you can see. That was a function here, right? So as you can see over here, I'm invoking the function. I'm passing in the callback ID and the job name or any parameters in general you have. So if you have observed in simple ways, any step that you want to use a durable step, you can simply decorate with a decorator at durable step, right? So it's easy, right? So that's that, and let me show you one more thing here, right? So when you're creating a callback, right, you can say, hey, if you do not hear back from me in, let's say, n hours or n minutes, it's like considered failed. So that's basically that over here, that timeout minutes, you can do that, okay? And once we submit the job, once we submit the EMR job needs to reply. Once you get the reply from EMR job, basically the Lambda function is complete. So the key takeaway here is you submit a job and the Lambda function pauses its execution, and then external system needs to respond back to the Lambda function, truly asynchronous in nature. So yeah, that's amazing, right? So now let's see. I have a function that I was telling you, okay. I go to code, Okay, and again I have this code pasted here. Okay, as you can see I've pasted the code. So what I'll do is I want to test this out, so I'm going to click on test, and I'm going to give again a durable execution name that you like. Usually UUID is good as a name because every invocation is unique. I would basically provide a UUID here, right? And let's see what else. Event name, yeah, whatever. Just put it test for now. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, and then just click on test. As soon as you do that, you will see a durable executions. Okay, and if you refresh here, I can see my durable execution demo 5. I can click on that. Okay. Actually, I think I clicked on the wrong one. Let me zoom out a little bit. One sec. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Yeah. So if I were to click here, right, I can see the output, right, that submit Spark EMR function was invoked, and here you can see the callback ID, right. So now let me show you something over here. Let me just copy that. Before I mean, of course, I execute this, right? So I want to first copy the entire task token here. Okay. So anyway, now let me go to the main one. I want to show you that it's still in the running state. Remember this particular Lambda function that I had. Let me see if I can probably go to configure. You can see the timeout was 1 minute. So this is already past 1 minute. First of all, that I want to say that, right? So if you see here, that function is still running. So now my external system, so assume this is a Spark job. Now Spark job has completed. At the end of the Spark job, I'm using the Boto CLI and I'm saying I'm completed, right? So I'm making that call. So now if I were to copy this command, CLI command, and were to paste that, and it's succeeded. Now if I come here, okay, and if I simply refresh, look, succeeded, right? You can see the total time it took, about 1 minute 27 seconds, so on, etc, etc. I tested for 5 minutes and so on. It works fine. So this is what AWS Lambda Durable Function is. In my opinion, it's truly game changer. I especially imagine, let's say you have any analytical jobs, right? DuckDB job that you're running, right, on Lakehouse. Well, yeah, you can run the job, and then once the job is complete, it can respond back to the to the Lambda function, and you can resume or do further actions as you want, right? Also, this could be used for building agents, right? Sometimes, you know, agents can take time, so you can invoke an agent, the Lambda function can pause, it can reply back. Again, all sort of stuff you can do. But my goal was to inform you about this new feature that is there, AWS Lambda Durable Function. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you have any other questions, let me know. Until then, keep smiling, keep programming, and I'll see you in the upcoming next video.